Hey guys, what's up? This is Millie here. For today's video, I'm going to be reviewing the Grand Hyatt in downtown Seattle. This will be a slightly different video just because I don't actually have a lot of footage from the hotel. Actually, I have none, and that's only because when I was staying at the Grand Hyatt, I was sort of professionally in a job where I was obligated to not release such videos. But now that things have changed, I can start doing these on my channel again rather than my blog, just because I feel I can do a better job on my channel with reviewing hotels than on my blog. But just bear with me on this video. I don't have a lot of footage, so it's just going to be me talking to you, telling you the good, bad, and the ugly about the Grand Hyatt in downtown Seattle, so that you can make a decision whether you want to stay at this hotel or not when you visit Seattle. During our cruising trip, we were in Seattle twice, once before the cruise and then once after. So because we boarded our cruise from Seattle, we thought we'd stick around in Seattle a couple of days, just check it out. And so before we boarded, that's when we stayed at the Grand Hyatt. It is a 5-star hotel. It's a luxurious 5-star hotel, and it is situated in downtown Seattle. After the cruise, when we came back to Seattle, we stayed at the Spring Hill Suites by Marriott, which I'll be reviewing next week. I do have footage of that, so thankfully I took footage of that, not actually thinking that I would ever make this video, but I just, good things happen. So I'll be reviewing that next week, and once that's live, I'll put the link in the description below. So let's get started with the review for this hotel. This is a luxury high-end hotel, and hence has mostly good things associated with it, as does most hotels of this caliber. We had 2 rooms because we were 4 adults. My mom and we were on the higher floor, and I think it was the 28th floor. And my brother and my dad were on the 25th or the 24th floor. So from my room, the view outside was so good. It's not because there was something fancy out there or there were high rises or whatever. It was just one of those views where it doesn't have a lot. It's a basic view, but it literally takes your breath away, especially when the colors of the Seattle sunset are so beautiful. The room was rather big. The ensuite even bigger. I probably think the ensuite was bigger than the actual room, but hey, that's fine. I can live with it. The setup in the room and the ensuite and everywhere is a very his and hers kind of setup, which is amazing, especially when you're sharing a room with someone. I know this is probably really common for a lot of hotels, but such explicit setups is something I've been coming across very rarely, so I apologize if it's something that's literally very common out there and I'm just like making a fool out of myself saying that. But yeah, the hotel had a very, very his and hers kind of setup, or hers and hers, however you want to put it, which is really great. The beds are amazing. They're, I think, what you'd call a king single bed, so it's massive and very comfortable. It's by far the best sleep I've ever had. As you can probably see, this was a year ago and I'm still sort of boasting about it. It was amazing. It was really, really great. It is in the downtown location, in a very good sort of downtown location. The reason I say that is because when we stayed at the Spring Hill Suites, which is also downtown, the area around Spring Hill Suites isn't the best. Whereas this one, it's really good. There's a lot of food options in close vicinity if you have been traveling all day and you've arrived in Seattle at night and you just want to take it easy. There's a lot of options just within like 5-minute walks and things like that, depending on your pace. So that works to your favor. Another good thing about the hotel is that the look and feel of the hotel really is aligned with that of a luxurious high-end 5-star hotel. You walk in, and you immediately know that you're in a in a luxurious hotel. They've maintained the interiors of the hotel well. There's not a single thing that I could point out and say, oh, that's bad. Pretty much the decor, the way they've set up, everything is beautiful inside the hotel. In all honesty, there's not a lot that I could actually talk about and emphasize in the bad with my stay at this hotel, and because it was just so good, and like if anything bad did happen, it was sort of side brushed or whatever, just because it didn't feel as bad. But if I was to be critical about it, I would list a couple of things that I would, I guess, classify under bad. One was the fact that we were in 2 rooms, which was expected. But my mum and I, we were on the 28th floor, and my brother and my father were on the 24th floor. And I can understand that during busy periods of times it could be difficult to accommodate connecting rooms, and that would most likely go to families with smaller kids or younger kids. And literally it wasn't the end of the world. It was just 4 levels up, I guess, or down, depending on how you want to see it. It wasn't the end of the world for us. The other thing that I would talk about is the fact that their driveway space just in the hotel entrance is very tight. So a lot of tourists who like to rent out a car, like us, and especially in a place like Seattle where all of the tourist attractions are so spread out, you are better off taking a car. I know a lot of people don't like taking a valet at a hotel. But over here you kind of are in a way obligated to, just because their space is so tiny. And if you're not familiar with the area around downtown Seattle or where the hotel parking is and things of that nature, you kind of are forced to take a valet. And more so, what then also happens is, if you are waiting for an Uber or something else, or a cab or someone to come pick you up, during busy periods of time, just because tourists can arrive at any time, it can get really packed in that little driveway, and it becomes a little congested, and really a lot of the drivers sort of struggle to make their way out of the driveway, which becomes difficult. So with the whole, traffic congesting up in their driveway, it's not the end of the world for me. It didn't affect my holiday in any way. It wasn't something that made me go, oh crap, if this wasn't like this, I would have had a better holiday. It's more so just what it is. And again, because it's a downtown hotel, they're limited by space, and I can understand that it is what it is, and the staff go above and beyond to just, make it more easygoing. You just have to live with things like that, and that is what it is. In all honesty, I don't know if I would list this under ugly if this was a different hotel, but this is probably the only thing I would sort of talk about under ugly, I guess, and that is the lack of a hotel lobby bar. Now, there is a steak restaurant just to the left or to the right, depending on which way you're facing the reception, and they do serve drinks, but it's not really a place where you can go for just drinks. I know it feels weird saying that, because ultimately you can go anywhere and not be obligated to buy food if you're just there for drinks, or vice versa, or something else altogether, but it's not a chill out kind of environment. It's very restaurant-y, you go with your family kind of thing. So if you do have a friend visiting you, and say if you're tight for time and you just want to find a quick place to grab a drink or something, there's not one at the hotel lobby. You have to sort of walk around and find a neighborhood bar or something. And this, my stay has been dated over a year. Let me get my tongue twister sort of there, over a year. So I don't know if things have changed since then, but I did have a friend living in Seattle at the time, and each time she came over, it would be like us trying to figure out where we could go to hang out, especially on days when I was really tired and I just did not want to walk. If there was a like a bar or a cafe just within the hotel, that would have been so much better for us. Overall, as you can probably say, that I loved every minute of my stay at this hotel. Would I stay here again? Without a doubt, yes. But this is not a hotel I would stay at if I was traveling with my friends. Even for that matter, if I was traveling on business and someone else was paying for it, I would more so stay at this hotel because it's a very special hotel. I would stay there if I'm traveling with family or for a special occasion or something of that nature. It's not a place you would just stay if you didn't have an occasion, and that's what I feel personally. It might not be the same for you, just because in America you have more business travelers than you have holiday travelers, and you can't be picky in that sense. But yes, this is a hotel that I would want to stay at when I'm sharing a special experience with someone. If you've stayed at this hotel before, tell me what your experience has been like in the comments below. My social media links are in the description below. Until next week, see you guys later.